this is KittyKathee coming to you live because we have the Developer Radio 3.0 that just came out after the HSR 2.7 live stream, of course, so that's very, very cool. So, welcome to a new edition of Developer Radio Trailblazer. This update details settings for Relic subsidiary stats customization and Relic reroll function in 3.0. Pom-pom scenes. When using self-modeling resin and wishful resin to customize Relic, the change of materializing 3 or 4 subsidiary stat will be the same as the current Relic being customized. I don't know what that means, but I bet. So anyway, essentially, they announced during the 2.7 live stream that we will be getting some changes in 3.0, where we will have the ability to essentially both choose some substats as well as reroll where the upgrades went into which substats. You can just randomize it again. So let's say you had a crit rate, crit damage, speed, attack percentage piece, and obviously you wanted everything into crit rate and crit damage, and then everything went into attack percentage, and now you have a piece with like 3 crit rate, 6 crit damage, 25 attack percentage, and 2 speed, and you're just like, man, this piece has so much potential, and it all went to waste. You'll be able to change everything, so that's really cool. Or to reroll where the updates went. So anyway, we have this whole information here. I'm opening it on the side because that's going to make it easier to look at. So there we go. So, Relic subsidiary stat customization and the Relic reroll function available. In version 3.0, to resolve the issues of Relic being hard to farm based on the Trailblazers feedback, okay, we have made a series of optimization to the Relic system. So now we see the subsidiary stat customization function is available. In version 3.0, aside from customizing a Relic's main stat, you can also use the new Wishful Resin item to customize its subsidiary stats. This allows the body, the feet, the sphere, and the link rope to all be adjustable based on self-modeling resins consumed and subsidiary stats set by Wishful Resin consumed. So this will not work for gloves and headgear, essentially, right? So we've got to keep that in mind, but still work for the biggest stat. So what's interesting here, obviously, is that the pieces that don't have a main stat that can be changed won't have access to Wishful Resin. Why not? That's fine. It's okay. So essentially, it's the piece that had the most amount of randomness that will be able to be changed. The number of items consumed will be based on your set stats. Details are as follow. So for the main stat, it costs you 1 self-modeling resin. And if you want to change 1 substat, it will cost 1. If you want to change 2 substats, it will cost 4. There doesn't seem to be a way to change 3 or 4 substats, which is fine. Unfortunately, the world ain't perfect yet. So it's pretty much similar to Genshin Impact, but you can only choose 2 substats. So we'll have to see how often we can actually get those. So, Wishful Resin must be used in conjunction with self-modeling resin. It cannot be used alone. Hand and head type cavern relics that cannot have main stat set also can't be affected. Yep. After the version 3.0 update, Trailblazers can obtain Wishful Resin through the following means at the start of each version update. The Nameless Honor, so through the Battle Pass, it's basically a Wishful Resin can be obtained for free via the Nameless Gift after completing the weekly or periodic missions and reaching a certain level. Additionally, purchasing the Nameless Glory and reaching a certain level will also allow you to obtain an additional Wishful Resin. So you can get 2 Wishful Resins if you buy the Battle Pass. Now, from Synthesis, you can consume 800 Relic remains to form 1 Wishful Resin, and 2 can be synthesized at most. An exchange, a 1-to-1 exchange rate with self-modeling resins up to 3 can be exchanged every month. So the self-modeling resin is the one that can allow you to choose the main stat. So essentially, you can trade one of those to get one of those that will give you the substats, and you can do it up to 3 times. So essentially, the ways to get it, you get 1 for free from the Battle Pass, 1 that can be paid if you purchase the Battle Pass. You can get up to 2 from transforming 1600 Relic Remains into 2 Wishful Resin. And finally, you can trade 3 self-modeling resin into 3 Wishful Resin, which means that in total, on paper, for now, you can get up to 6 Wishful Resin per patch, and that is not considering additional ways to obtain Wishful Resin that we might be getting in the future through playing content. As they say here, there will be ways to get them, and we'll get announcements. So I'm assuming there will be some events like, hey, you can do this and this and that, and as a reward, instead of just getting a, you know, a self-modeling resin like we tend to get from, you know, like recently the Rappa events, if you cleared like the 16 achievements, you would also get a self-modeling resin. I assume there's going to be ways similarly to get some wishful resin, which is great. Moving on. The relic reroll function will be available. In the new version, Trailblazer can consume one variable die to reroll 5-star relics at level 15. After rerolling, the numbers of enhancement attempts that can be made for existing subsidiary stats will be redistributed. The number of enhancements before and after rerolling will not change. Trailblazer can choose based on the result of the reroll to either use the original stat or the new stat offered. So as you can see here, it was defense, speed, crit rate, crit damage. So typically this is not what you wanted, and by rerolling it, it ended up being 3 into crit rate, 1 into speed, which is way better. I'm sorry, this is so small. I'm already like zooming at 500%. I can't do it more. But yeah, this is nice. Regardless of what result you decide to keep, the consumed variable dice will not be returned. Makes sense. Reroll will not change the subsidiary stat that already exists. As such, if the relic already has 3 subsidiary stats before getting enhanced, then the new stat obtained after 3 levels of enhancement will be the only one rerolled. Trailblazer can obtain variable dice through the following means. So that essentially, I think this means that it's gonna be better if you have a piece that roll 4 substats at level 0, essentially, right? That way it's gonna be less randomness. Trailblazer can obtain variable dice through the following means. Synthesis, you can consume 3 self-modeling resin to synthesize 1 variable dice. Oh my god, that's expensive. So 3 of the gold ones here can make 1 reroll die. And you can do this as many times as you want, so there's no limit to that. After purchasing the battle pass, you can obtain 1 of these by reaching a certain level through completing mission. So essentially, you get 1 per patch. You get 1 per patch by buying the battle pass. This is highly not free to play. Consuming 3 self-modeling resin is certainly possible, but like overall, it's so random that I would probably not do that. I mean, they're both random, right? It's like either you use the self-modeling resin to make a piece with a chosen main stat, but the substat might be bad, or you use 3 of those to get 1 variable die, and you try to reroll a piece, and maybe the reroll buff don't go in the right places. So overall, it's RNG, Bangaloo. You are most likely gonna get disappointed. Don't get your hopes too high here. It's a nice change, but it is not going to guarantee you get good substats or good relics whatsoever, okay? So there we go. Well, we don't know if you get them from events too. I mean, to be fair, when it came to the wishful resin, they said you can obtain wishful resin by completing certain piece of content. Stay tuned for future announcement for more detail. But for this one, they didn't say that. So I feel like if they made a comment for that before, and then they didn't make a comment for this one, that for now, at the very least, they don't intend to give some of them for free from playing through events, because they haven't mentioned that. But, I mean, we can hope and cope. Moving on. The enhanced relics can be salvaged as well. After version 3.0 arrives, enhanced relics can also be salvaged directly. That is to say that enhanced relic can be more than just relic XP materials. Enhanced relics of 2, 3, 4-star rarities can be salvaged as lost gold, fragment, and credits. Enhanced relics of the 5-star rarity can be salvaged as lost gold, fragment, and credits, or converted into a certain amount of relic remains. The number of lost gold fragments gained after salvaging will be equal to which is used as relic XP materials during leveling. Oh! So you get fully refunded for the upgrade. That's pretty good. Okay. 5-star relics have already been enhanced to level 15 will be converted into 400 relic remains when salvaged. Okay? We hope those optimizations will make your leveling progress smoother. We look forward to feedback from our Trailblazers. Your opinion matters a great deal to us. See you again on next Developer Radio update. Yeah, so here, because here specifically they took the time to tell us that there will be more ways to get the wishful resin. By comparison here, they don't say anything about the variable die. So I feel like, for now, they don't intend to give us more ways to obtain them. So, these, on paper, are good changes. Now we'll have to see, because on practice, it is still very RNG based. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. And we're not going to be getting that many resources, that many amounts of those resources. So, don't hope too much. this is a good change. This is not perfect. This doesn't mean you're gonna get the most awesome relics out there. It's still gonna be random. So yeah, I don't want you people to think that this is like the best new thing since sliced bread. This is nice, but it's not absolutely game breaking or anything like that. So yeah, overall pretty good. It's still some nice quality of life, and hopefully this is gonna enhance our experience. So there we go. That's pretty nice. It's cool, we're looking forward to that, but this is only going to be added in 3.0. This is not going to be for 2.7, even though it was announced to do 2.7 live stream, so keep that in mind. We are going to be waiting until about January something, so yeah. Anyway, very cool stuff, looking forward to it. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers!